Okay guys, we're back. I just received some goodies in the mail today, so let's take a look. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what came in. Has to keep it from getting damaged. Oh, look at this. Let's take a look at this one first. So this is the old man's waker. These have been discontinued. These were the go-to wake bait back in the day to catch bass, redfish, trout, you know on. And they've been discontinued for a while. So I was cruising eBay and I found these on an eBay site. So let's see what it says here. What does it say? It says made in the USA. So see, these are original ones. They've been discontinued for a number of years now, and this guy had them still in the package. Let me put this warning label over it. I can't read what it says about birth effects. California, so must have been sold out in California. Well, darn, did he do that the same thing? Okay, he didn't do it on this one, so let's look at this one. So it says, Man's innovative 1- series are the top selling super shallow crankbaits. At a slow retrieve, the 1- series lure can be fished from 1 inch to 2 inch below the surface, producing a bulge and wake. On a fast retrieve with rod tip down, they can be fished to a maximum of 1 foot depth. So I guess that's where they get their 1- from. It goes to 1 foot deep. You know, name. They contain a lot of rattles to provoke strikes, and a saltwater version of the mid 1- is available. So I think the only differences between this one and the saltwater version, which I couldn't find, is the hooks. See how this doesn't have stainless steel hooks on it. So I just have to change the hooks out. Other than that, I think it's the same weight bait. But it's designed just like my bunker. This is the one I catch all my reds on out there. By far, out of anything that I've used, that I've thrown, I don't care if it's soft plastic, if it's jerk bait, whatever. This one here, look at all the hits on it, all the chewed up marks on it. This one here has caught more redfish than anything else in my arsenal. And the clear water. It doesn't work that good in the murky or green water. That's why I have the red one. The red one does that. And this one works really well. And it's the same one, but just different color, red and white. And this one works really well in the green to murky water. The last red I caught on this, the last time I used it, it was 29 inches out there in El Morro Bay. So this is a good. These are good, and it's a shame that Bass Pro stopped making these. But before Bass Pro made these series, the original waker was made by Man, and these are the original wakers here that Man made. And as you can see, this one's similar to those. and similar in size. The bill is a little bit different. It's more forward on the Man. This one goes more straight down on the Bass Pro version of it. But Man made the original Waker. So here's two versions of it that I'm going to try once we get back out fishing on the Lower Laguna Madre, once we get the boat squared away. And they're in their original package. I want to say these were probably made 10, 12 years ago, maybe longer. It doesn't give me a date on them, does it? Just says made in the USA and Alabama. But I don't think it gives you a manufacturing date on these bad boys. But this is the 3/8 ounce. I want to say these are 5/8 ounce. They're heavier. So these are 5/8 ounce. So this is the next size down, even though it's almost the same size, but you see it's a little smaller, not by much, but 3/8 ounce weight in it. So with the rattle and everything, so you can hear. So I got them in the mail today. All right, let's check the next one. Now I found this online. I was cruising the web, like I told you, and I found mybaitshop.com. This guy here, all he deals in is vintage lures. That's all he deals in. And he's got a big old website, and the lures can range anywhere from $5 up to $1,000, depending upon how rare the lure is, how old the lure is, and if he's got the box and the complete package that goes with the box, you know, the information card and all that stuff that comes in there. So it's pretty interesting. He's got a lot of heading on there, the original stock of heading, and he gets pretty penny for those too. It's an interesting site. I would recommend going there and checking it out and fluking through there, and you might find you some deals. So I found a couple of deals. So let's see what he sent me when I was on there the other day. So let's take a look. Let's see. Remember I was telling you about the Man's Waker. So the Man's Waker is the original wake bait. And they made a saltwater version called Texas Sunrise, which was the best waking, back in the day, wake bait to use. So, let's take a look here. Alright, let's build a cell. Oh, look at that. He even sent me a sticker. mybaitshop.com. Pretty cool. Let's see what he's got in here. Okay. So, when I was growing up as a kid, I used to bass fish a lot. And my dad had these in his tackle box. These bees that walk on top of the water. And we used to use them out there in the Resacas in Bayview. And we catch crappie and bass with these. This one's in pretty good shape. I want to see, what did I, oh, you sent me 2 stickers. I want to see, what did I pay for that one? Because he had some on there that were pretty expensive, but I think this one was a deal. Let's see how much it was. I just don't remember. That's why I picked it up. It was cheap. I think it was only like $7 or $8. It was cheap because it was used. It wasn't in the box, but it's pretty clean. Small amount of corrosion, still all intact. And they make different versions of this, but this is what I remember that my dad had. I don't know what happened to all that tackle that he had, because I'd moved away for years, and I don't know. But it's called a Tiny Crazy Collar, and it's made by Heddon, which you guys know Heddon is the original artificial lure company. Nobody's older than Heddon. So I can see why it's a little bit cheaper. You see how this fin's bent? It should be straight like that one, so that's something I'm going to have to remedy. Straighten it out to where, that way, because if it's not the same, it's not going to walk correctly on top of the water as you're reeling it back. But they make them, this is the most popular color, but they make them in black, in white, and I think I've seen a silver version of this one. And my dad used to have these. He used to use these. Pretty cool. So I was just a little nostalgic, and I wouldn't mind having one again. And I'm definitely going to try it out there. I never used one of these in the saltwater, but we used to use them out there in the Risacos in Bayview. And they used to catch bass and crappie. Nice sized black bass and crappie on these. And you just walk it across the top of the water. I'm going to try that out too, out there. Pretty neat. And let's see what the next one is. All right, so here we go. So you kind of want to know where. Let me get this guy again. They're all tangled up here. All right. So, Man's went out of business. Stopped making them. So you look at this wake bait. Look at the style. Look how it is. And I love this one. And I can't find it anywhere. But they copied the original Man's, I think it's called the Texas Sunrise series. But they just painted it a different color. So you look how they're exactly the same. Exactly. Exactly the same size. Exactly the same body. I mean everything. It's just painted different color. But it's the same. Same shape. Everything. They're both 5/8 ounce. Look at that. Even the eyes are the same. Why Man stopped making these? I couldn't tell you, man. But all I know is these were killer for redfish out there on the lower Laguna Madre. So I found 2 of them still in the box. Classic Man's. Texas Walker. It says vary your retrieve speeds. The waker can be burned across the surface, creating a loud buzz bait like gurgle, or you can reel very slow, creating a lazy wobble. But no matter how fast you reel, the waker will only go 1 to 3 inches deep. So this is what you need when you're fishing the shallow grass flats. The other ones that they make, the whatever it is, the X series that Bass Pro makes now, that they got a big old line. If you go over there on Bass Pro, they're nice and all, but the problem is when you're fishing the shallow grass flats, the water is super shallow and the grass is right there. So if you got one that's going to drop 1 foot, 2 feet, 3 feet, you're in the grass, man. And or you're on the bottom, you know, because most of the time I'm only fishing in between 15 and 18 inches deep of water. And you got to remember, I have grass in there too. So you're going to have, out of that 15 to 18 inches, you know, you're going to have 8 to 10 inches of that is going to be grass in that zone that you're fishing in. So I need something that stays on top or as close to the top as possible. And that's why this one's been so successful out there. And I just lucked out. I was just cruising and I found them. But see, look how they're the same. Exact same shape, exact same size. All Bass Pro did is just model theirs after the original Man's waker. And this is the one that has been producing for decades when Man's put this out. And this is what you want. So see, original Man's, 1 to 3 inches. And it's a shame they don't make this stuff anymore. Only dies 1 to 3 inches. Man's waker. So if you can find these, or this one, I know this one works really good for sure. I won't know until I get out there, but this one should work the same because it's the exact same design out there. It may just be a little bit different color, but I think it'll give me the same results that I get off of this one. They're 5/8 ounce. These are 3/8 ounce, so you can see the difference, a little smaller, but they do the same process too. So I am fortunate that I found these at mybaitshop.com. And I think he let them go for, I think they were $12 is how much he was asking on them. So I bought, he only had 2 left. That's all he had was 2, so I bought them both. So I have a spare if I need it. And let's see, so we got the crawler, we got the -1, and we got the Texas Sunrise that came in. What else do we got? Here's the last one. So let's see what this is. Let's take a look here. Let's see what we got going here with this one. Okay, what do we got here? Who is this? Okay, so I was on Facebook. I think I was on Facebook. And I was reading a post on what works for you. Somebody had posted this for Redfish Everything. I'm a member of that community, Redfish Everything. And then all these people were listing what type of artificial bait that they use. And the majority of them, of course, it's in the, I guess in the Florida area, you know, Florida, Louisiana, Texas area, you know, the Gulf Coast of fishing. A lot of them talk about the Waker. Waker is the best if you can get them. And then one of them was asking about this. He didn't know what it was, where it just showed the picture. And it was this one, which is the one from Bass Pro, and it showed a bunch of reds and speckled trout that the guy had caught. And they said it was a Waker, but they didn't know which one it is. But this was posted on there. And I don't know, we're gonna see. Let's take a look. This is new to me. It's a wake bait, but I've never heard of these guys. These guys are called like what I do with the paper. I don't have it. Well, I lost the paper. Maybe it's inside. Oh, it's inside. These guys are called Southern Salt Bait Company out of Mobile, Alabama. So Alabama is another member of this Redfish Everything salt community. So Alabama, anywhere along the coast. And this was interesting. So I'm eager to try these once I get out there. Let's see what this one is. All right. Called the Goat. That's what this Waker's called. So I want to say it's their version of the Man's Waker, just like Bass Pro had their versions of the Man's Waker. Because you gotta remember, Man's Waker was the original Waker. So let's see what we got here. This is the Goat, and this one is, what is his name? His name is Psycho Shad. So this is a Psycho Shad. There we go. See if I can get him out. So this is their version of the Man's Waker. So here's the original one. This is the original Man's Waker that was made originally. So you can see it's a little stubbier, a little fatter, a little snub nose more than the other one. And then this is Bass Pro's version of the Man's Waker. And this is a 5/8 ounce, just like this is a 5/8 ounce, but it's got a smaller body. So I really want to see what these will do. And it's got nice, I think it's made pretty nice. This is the Psycho Shad version of the Goat. They call it the Goat, is what they call it. So let's put him up here. Psycho Shad, the Goat. And look, so if I'm going to get him, I got his brothers. Look at that. Oh, man, look at that. That's beautiful. Man, I can hardly wait to take these out and try them out. So let's see, what do we got in here? Let's lay these bad boys out. Push the old man's off to the side there. So I ordered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I ordered 7 different wake baits from these guys. Well, 7 wake bait. And they're not all 7 different ones. I think there's 5. I want to say I ordered 2 of the gold because I was thinking that that gold is going to work really well out there in the shallow grass flats in the clear water where I fish. So that's why I ordered 2, because I know this gold one works really well. This one doesn't have any spots on the side, but he still has the same gold color and black stripe down the back. The only thing he's missing is the spots. So I got 2. I got 2 of this one. And this one is called, what's this one called? Who Dat. So the gold one is called Who Dat. And then I ordered 2 of these, which is an interesting color. And this one is called Tequila Sunrise. Look at that. Oh, push him back so you can see him. Tequila Sunrise. And then I ordered 1 of each one of these. This is a chartreuse. The one I saw in the video that they were promoting these, I guess when they first made these, was the Tequila Sunrise. The guy was out on a kayak, I'm assuming somewhere in Alabama, you know, back in the marshes, and he was throwing this one to try to catch redfish. And they just made it, and this was like a promo video, and he didn't catch anything with this thing. You know, the one that he switched to, that he started catching them on, and it was brown water, it was brown murky water that he was fishing in, was this one. This is what he started catching the redfish on, was this chartreuse one. And I have a chartreuse one from 6 cents, but it's not a wake bait, it's a jerk bait. But I've never caught anything on that one. But I figured, what the hell, I'll try this and see. In the murky water, and where the water's not that clear and the clarity's low, this would be a good one to try. And this one is called Lime Truce. Lime Truce. And then this one, look at this one. And this one is called Purple Haze. So I've never heard of these guys, but I think they're big. And the Florida market and up and down the East Coast there and around Alabama and stuff, it looks like they put out a pretty good product. I just had never heard of them. But how I found out, like I said, I was scrolling through my Facebook post, part of the Redfish Everything community, and they had posted, you know, what works for you, in other words, to catch redfish, what do you use? And there's all kinds of stuff in there, but these guys came up. And they sell soft plastic too. They got a bigger line. This is the complete line that they sell on topwater lures, wake baits. They don't have any other ones at the moment. This is what they do, but they do have a bigger line of soft plastics. If you're into soft plastics, now, I think that's how they started their business was soft plastics, and they have many different varieties on that one of the soft plastic. But like I say, I'm a top water lure kind of a guy. I love fishing top water. If I'm going to fish artificial, it's generally going to be top water. I've got soft plastics, which I'll do a video on to show you. I got tons of soft plastics. Used to use them years ago, but I get more enjoyment with top water, because just the way the fish strikes on it, the way the fish comes up out of the water, hits it, runs with it, because you're on top, you know. That's really what it boils down to. you know, and instead of bouncing the soft plastic off the bottom up and down and, you know, side to side and all that. But I do got a bunch of soft plastics, and I'll do a video on that to show you. I got a lot of the Cocoa minnows. I used to fish those back in the day. You know, so. But look at that, that's a beautiful one. And he is, what is his name again? Psycho Shad. I don't know how long this is going to last, because see, you see the thickness of this? This is made well. So I already see a flaw in this one. This is, look how thin that is compared to this one. Look at that. You can just see it. So, I don't know. We'll see how this works. They're shiny. Flashy. If they work, that's fine. But once we get the boat back in the water, we're going to be throwing these. And I got this one to try to get close to my waker that I have there from Bass Pro that I can't find anymore. So I've been looking. I'm telling you guys, I love that lure so much. I've been looking for something to replace it because it's getting old. It's getting miles put on it. And I need something just as good that the reds will hit. So I was thinking that this is probably going to be the one. Look how close it looks to it. Look at that. They're both 5/8 ounce, but they made their body a little shorter than this. But it's got the same curved black stripe on the back, the gold. Only thing it doesn't have are these little dots down the side. But I'm anticipating that this one's going to do really well out there in the shallow grass flats, and I'm anticipating this one too in the clear water. I don't think this one, because this guy was fishing this one in the murky water, like it was like brown water where he was at. I don't think this is the one for that. I think his lighter, because usually the rule of thumb is the lighter it is, the darker the water. The darker it is, the clearer the water that you run your bait, your artificial bait in. So if it's dark like this, it needs to be clear water that you're running it in. Because if you're running it in dark water, you're not going to get the same results as you would in clear water. That's just what I've learned over the years. You know. But I am definitely excited. And I think I still got one more out there somewhere too that's coming. I want to say. I could be wrong, but I believe I do. Oh yeah, I do. I got some from 6 cents. So there's still another one coming. But this is what we got today, guys, in the mail. See if we can get all this packaging back in here. Okay, I think he's gonna go back down in here like this. But these are called the Goat, so I'm excited to try these out. See how they do out there. The Goat. I put that in backwards. I put that in backwards, huh? I don't know. Put them in like this. Oh, put the top in. That's where it stands. So this is what I got, guys. I can't wait. I got the original Man's Sunrise Waker, Texas Sunrise. And I got the original -1 Waker. I wanted to try out. And of course, this old classic head bumblebee, tiny crawler. Supposed to walk him across the water real slow. I definitely want to try him out there and see what happens. See if he produces anything. I still got to fix that. It's close, but I need to fix it more, better. But yeah, that's where it sits. Southern Salt Bait Company. And to just show you how good this one is. This one is really good in the green to murky water. Catches trout or reds. I've only caught reds on the gold one. That's all I've caught is reds on the gold one. And it only works in the clear water. But in the murky water, where it's either green or too murky, I've caught both reds and trout on this one. Just to show you how good it is, how much I like it, that look how many of these guys I got. Where's the other one at? I know I got another bag of them somewhere here. I went and bought whatever I could get on them. So let's take a look here. So I won't run out. So that ought to tell you that there's no bull here. These things work. Look how many I bought. You can't get these anymore, but I got plenty of the redhead version of this laser eye wake bait, which is their version of the man's wake bait. What my plan was, I'm going to take some of these redhead ones and I'm going to paint them this color. That's what the plan is. So that's why I got so many of them, and for I could have a few extra ones. But this is a good wake bait if you're fishing in the what they call trout green water or murky to brown water. This works really well, and it catches both trout and reds. And then I picked up, oh look, see, here's another one. Look at that. Damn, so I have so many of them. I picked up this guy too the other day when I was in the academy, when I picked up those jig poles. This is made in Japan. It's supposed to be a mullet style topwater lure. So that's definitely, I'll try this one out there too once I go out there. And I think it's just called mullet. I think that's all it is. But it floats. This one floats on top. So I'm excited, guys. But I have to wait. Boat's not ready yet. It's going to be a while longer for the boat's ready. But once the boat's ready, we're getting geared up to get back at it. Okay. And I'm going to put my guy back in. See how all the paint's already rubbed off here on this guy? Right there from all the hits. All the strikes from the redfish. This thing, man, you just throw it out there and it only takes, sometimes on the first cast, boom, they hit it. A lot of times on the first cast. And then usually it only takes 2 or 3 casts and you got something on there, man, with this guy. But like I say, the key is, if you're fishing top water, you want something that stays right at the top or right around the top on a wake bait. Because a lot of the wake bait, I do have other ones. So, you know what? I might as well talk about them since I'm here. So just hang on a minute. We'll take a look. Okay, so this is that X series that they put out at Bass Pro. The problem with this is it dives too deep out there for me. I mean, it's a nice looking bait. It's a 5/8, got a good rattle, but it dives too deep and it gets caught in the grass every time I use it. So it doesn't work well for me. But that's an X series one. It's called, I don't remember what they call it. What they call XPS, I guess. That's what they're big on now. That's their big line that they produce over there at Bass Pro now. Is that one. And look, I got more. So let's see right here. Let me get this guy out. So this is the same thing. This is their X series too that they produce, but the longer the bill is like that, the deeper it's going to dive. The more straight angle that it comes out and longer that it is, it's going to dive deep. So this one doesn't work well for me out there, man. I mean, if I fish probably around the island or something like that where the water's a lot deeper, this would probably produce pretty well, but not out there in the shallow grass flats where I'm at, where I'm fishing in 18 inches of water or less. It doesn't work well. It gets caught up. Here's another one. Same thing. You see how this one's even more straight out? So this one's going to go real deep when you start cranking it. It's a little 3/8 ounce. It's not a 5/8 like the other two are. But worthless out there. Doesn't work. If I was in deeper water, yeah, I could probably get something with that one. Now I want to talk about a big disappointment. I bought this one. This is a Berkeley. And it's the Chapo 105. Because see, I have I don't know where it's at, but what I've got is, I've got the version of this one, long like this, but it's from, whatchamacallit, and it goes across the water, and the Cordell. So I have the blue Cordell like this one, and gold and black Cordell. And it has a broken tail here in the back with a little fin here, and it makes wake. That is a good product. So I figured, hey, this one would do just as well out there. And I haven't caught anything on this thing. I've thrown this thing many a times. And that's not bite marks. That's just the paint peeling off. It just shows you how cheap they made this product. It's expensive. I want to say I paid $12 for this lure, and the paint's falling off of it. You know, this lure, you know how much I paid for this lure? I paid $4.98 for this lure when I bought it. Let's see what else I got here. So those don't work. And it's not that it's not a good lure. I just don't. It needs deeper water. Now here, look, here's another XPS. So see, I bought a whole series of these XPSs. And I've used this one out there. And the problem is the same thing. It gets hung in the grass. See how it's more straight out and it's even longer? This one dives real deep. And it's too deep of a dive for that style of fishing that I fish. Like I said, if I was fishing off the pier or something out there where the water is deeper, where you're fishing in anywhere between 7 to 12 feet of water, you know, on the Lower LagunaMadre down there by Padre Island, out there in that big open bay, these would probably produce pretty well. But not just in the shallow grass flats. They get caught. And then when I try to slow the retrieval real slow, it doesn't do anything in the water and give me enough motion to attract anything. So that's the trouble that I have with those style of lures. So that's why I got a whole different line here, and I'm going to try that out and see. Here's another one, another XPS. So I don't know why Bass Pro did away with this line, and this is all that they have. Same thing, it dives too deep. Haven't caught anything on it. And the only thing I catch is grass. That's what I catch on these. Nothing but grass. No matter how slow I do the retrieval, it's still going to dive too deep. And this one is a deep diver, but I want to say this is, oh, it's XPS too. I was thinking it was 6 cents because of the quality made, but it's right there. When they're like this is real deep diving. So this one will go way deep because it's designed to catch all that water and force the nose to go down and go like that down in the deep water. So the reason why I got it was, like, you know, maybe along the intercoastal waterway, working the edge. That's what I got this one for. But I haven't caught anything with it. So here's another one, XPS. So I mean, they're upping their game. Look how much better their quality is getting than the first few that I showed you. But it's a deep diver. It's too deep for me. Not where I fish. You know, maybe if I ever do an excursion down there in the deeper bay part around the Queen Isabella Causeway and stuff, that's probably where I'll take these and use these. But they don't work for me out in my normal stomping grounds. There's another one, XPS. So, but see, deep diver. It's gonna go deep. If I fish deeper water, those would probably work pretty well for me, but that's not usually my game with all that. So that's where it sits, guys, at the moment. I do still have a few more coming in, but as you can see, I don't always fish live shrimp all the time. I do have artificial, and I can pretty much do either one, but I prefer popping the cork. Like I said, I go both ways. I'm not a purist in the sense. I'll use either. It doesn't matter to me. Whatever at hand, that's what I'm going to use when I go out. If I can get live bait, I'll use live bait. If I don't get live bait, then of course I'm going to use artificial. But my preference in artificial is topwater. That's what I love. And I fish topwater all day long. So most people will tell you that topwater is only good in the early spring and in the fall time, early in the morning and late in the day. Well, I fish it all day long, and I catch redfish on them all day long. It doesn't matter if it's wintertime, summertime, springtime. It's always produced for me, especially this one. These two right here. I've caught a lot of reds on just these two right here. I use these two a lot. They're my security blankets when it comes to catching redfish. If I'm in clear water, I'm going to use this one. If I'm in murky to green water, I'm going to use this one. And I'll be posting some videos, you know, narrative ones of ones that I've already posted years ago where I was out in Peyton's Bay, and I used this, and I think I caught 3 or 4 redfish and a couple of trout with this one out there in that murky to green water. So, what else? Soft plastics. Well, I got plenty of soft plastics. I used to throw a lot of soft plastics back in the day. I just don't really throw them that much anymore, but I do have them. I do have soft plastics. I can cover that too. Might as well since we're here, right? So let's take a look at that too. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's see what we got here. So this is the box that you always see in the videos that's sitting at the back of the boat by the engine. What I got here, look, there's my Cordell I was telling you about, the gold one. This one works really well for redfish on top. I have a blue version that I cut the tail off of, which is right here, but the paint's kind of rubbing off him. Works really well. Made him a shorty, a stubby, but paint's rubbing off him, so it's gonna probably be time to get another one. Got a jitterbug, old style jitterbug, mullet, here's a spook for the blue one, then the bone spook, and then a lime yellow color, lime green yellow color one, split tails, this little guy, little rattle trap. I have a bigger version of this one somewhere. I don't know where it's at, but I do have a bigger version. And here's my Cordell silver one, like my gold. I have that one too. Top water, top water, top water, top water, top water, top water. I want to say this hangs in the middle. Rest of those are either in the middle or at the bottom, depending on how fast you do it. So that's what's there. So if we open it up, well, hold on. We need some room here because it's not going to open up. So if we open it up, all my cocoa hose are here, and I have plenty of them. So inside of here is where I have my back bay thunder rigs, popping cork rigs. Along with some little split tails. There's that other rattle trap I was telling you I had that was like that version I was showing you. Got some worms. What else? And, you know, just rigging. That's all that's in that one. But in here, I got to turn it the other way though. That's the problem. Because if I open it up like this, they all fall out. Well, I can't open it up, but let me just make sure we get all this back in line first.